Welcome to the Low Value Man Show. I'm Devin Manhandles, and today, since this is my inaugural show, I would like to put it out there of what this show is all about. Pretty much what I intend to do is take information, field information from this whole high value man conversation that's going on within the diaspora of black folks, and kind of vet it through my sensibilities and present it back out to you. Now, I'm what would be considered a low value man. Let me give you some background on me. I was a street guy, didn't really want to be a street guy, but sometimes that's how life goes. All right. Had some run-ins with the law. Had a little vacation, a little small one, nothing crazy, because I was out there trying to be a high-value man, trying to get my coins up, and I had my coins up. So I have a little bit of I definitely wasn't a high-value man, but I was a high earner. I know what it's like to have a lot of money, right? And even to this day, I maintain a lifestyle that's, I would say, better than average for a black man my age with my education. All right. So that's a little background on me. What I see in this conversation, and what's really not shocking to me, is how delusional a lot of women are. The delusion of the black woman is almost frightening. When you listen to the conversations being had around this subject and the expectations of average and below average women, what they want and feel they deserve, it's kind of laughable. And we trace this to this conversation of women not settling. Now, we need to really look at that and really understand what is settling and what is not settling. So, pretty much how settling has been presented to these black women in the black community, which is very unfortunate and disingenuous, is for the world to say, write out your wish list of everything you want. Write out your Christmas list of a man. And anything less than that is settling. So these women say, I want a man who makes X amount of dollars. He has to be this tall. He has to have this type of body type. And that's something we'll deal with later, because when a man says, I think you should have this type of body type, that's a problem. But he needs to have this type of body type. He needs to have this type of demeanor. I want him to be smart and have it going on, a business or a high position, but I still want him to have a little bit of thug in him. All these different criteria, all right, that's really not obtainable. And real women who go for high value men, they understand this. Actually, that little bit of thug, that little bit of street edge would be a red flag to the woman who actually gets high value men. She will see that as a red flag. If it's a street side that's very pronounced, right? A woman could deal with an accent. Okay, this guy was raised in Brooklyn. This guy's from Philly. This guy's from whatever. Okay, maybe choice in music and things like this. But anything that's a little bit too edgy will scare her off, will run her off. All right. So black women have been fed a poor bill of goods. But this high value conversation opens up a lot more conversations in terms of black coupling, in terms of how we get together and how the things that we should do to be successful. Because most women who say they want a high value man really need a good man. The problem is they don't believe good men exist, and they believe it only exists in the high value sphere. All right? Even women who say they don't want to work after marriage and children, there's a hack for this. All right? Might not be a high value man. So when you look at what a high value man is, there's certain criteria. You could have a high earner who's not a high value man. A high earner is capable of allowing you to stay home and raise the kids. That's quite possible. Now, he's not a high value man, and chances of your relationship being successful in the long term diminishes rapidly with a high earner who's not high value, because all the other things that go with high value is the glue that makes relationships successful. So I'm going to explore things like that on this channel. I want to have those type of conversations, because that glue could actually work or will work in a non-high value scenario. It just typically does not exist. And places where it does exist, you see more successful marriages. And we're going to touch on those bases. Maybe my next show, I'll go into that to give understanding or overstanding for that. But this is just a low value man's take on the conversation. I thank you for stopping in and checking me out. And hey, that's it for now. Let me cue up my outro music. Broke Earth. Yada 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 yada. Broke Earth. Yada 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 yada. Broke Earth.